So, hello everyone. My name is Ibinabo Enebi, and welcome to Ibi Speaks. Today, I will be talking about rising from the brink of abuse, divorces to living intentionally. And I want to thank everyone for joining. And just a few house rules before we start. I'd like everyone to kindly mute their microphones, and I'd like you to turn off your video, right? If you don't, if like, for example, some of us are like, it's evening and we're all chilled. And we're like, okay, we just have the bonnet or the shower cap on and everything. So just turn off your video if you know you don't want this video to carry you far. Yay, my brother Gray is here. Okay, so, and then another thing I would say is, I would like you can be part of this conversation by, number one, writing your message. You can be part of this discussion by making contributions and asking questions. So you can write your questions down in the text if you're on Facebook and if you're on, on Zoom. So, and I promise to read out all your questions as time permits. So I have a special guest today, and my special guest is a juice therapist. She is an integrative health coach, supportive health coach. She is a juice ambassador and a greens advocate. Her name is Daba Omoregbee. Daba, can you please introduce yourself?
You've just introduced me now.
Yeah, but tell us about yourself, a brief thing about yourself, where are you from and all those things.
Okay, my name is Daba Omoregbee. That's my married name, but I'm actually Daba Ibiama. I come from River State. I'm a 60s child. I was born in the UK. And then when we're quite little, my mother brought us back to Port Harcourt. And I grew up in a single parent home. So my mom was a single parent and she had my sister and I. So we grew up in Port Harcourt. I did my nursery, primary, secondary, higher school, college, all in Port Harcourt. So it's who you call like a true Port Harcourt girl. I lived in Port Harcourt till in my 80s. And then because I wanted independence, I moved to Lagos. I was in Lagos for a few years. That's where I met my first husband, got married briefly, and in the early 90s, or well, mid 90s, after we split up, I moved to the UK.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay, Daba, we're going to get there. We're going to build up till we get to that point. Okay. Mm-hmm. So I have your, of course, I have your bio. I have your bio, which I sent to, to introduce you to the guests, to the viewers before we were going to have this, this whole interview. And in looking at your bio, but first and foremost, Daba, before I say anything, I would like you to know that this is a very safe space, and that if you don't feel comfortable with answering any of the questions that I'm going to ask you, you don't have to answer it, okay? So you just answer what you feel comfortable with. So I'm just going to start by asking you the question. Okay, so like I said, I read through your bio, we read through the bio and all of that. And in your bio, and even your personality, shows me that you're a very bubbly, and a happy and everything person, okay? And so I'm going to ask you now that, we talked about, the issue of low self-esteem, while we were talking. So looking at you, Daba, you're very, bubbly and a happy person. So how did the low self-esteem issue come in?
Yeah, I really don't know. It's just it just happened that as I got older, I was really self-conscious about myself. I always felt like I wasn't that intelligent. And growing in a single parent home, you just have your mother there. And she was the mother, she was the father, and she was quite strict as well. My mom was very strict. So she I just don't know, but she it just happened that I felt like I wasn't worthy of stuff. I just felt I wasn't a bright girl, and I don't know where it came from, but I just knew that I had a low self-esteem. I just knew it somehow. As I got older, I sort of realized that my esteem was low, but I didn't know how that happened.
Okay, so but Daba, would you tell me, could it be, like you said, your mom was strict? Could it be that the African parenting type thing kind of like had an influence, on it in a way?
It could be. You know, Growing up, especially in the 70s, everyone's parents behaved like everyone's parents.
Yeah.
So it didn't seem like yours was any different from your friends. We all had the same issues with our parents. But my mom was a bit stricter because she was alone. And we were girls, because I've got a sister. Just two of us. So we were girls. So she was more conscious that we were girls and we needed a little bit more, firm handling, she was liberal, but she wasn't so liberal. So she would allow us some stuff and then she would not allow us some stuff. She wouldn't allow us she wouldn't allow me wear makeup. But as my sister got older, she allowed her wear makeup a bit early. But my sister was a bit discreet with her makeup wearing, but I wasn't. I was more loud, and then she would notice it, and then she would, caution me, and So it was just the thing that she had to do that to keep us in line, because she was the mom and she was the dad.
So Daba, well, I don't want to overflow this issue because I know that that even young girls have this low self-esteem. So how does it manifest itself? Like if I have a daughter now and I don't know what low self-esteem looks like. So
for me, it was like growing up, I always felt like, I always needed, as I got older, I felt like I needed someone to validate my worth. Not me validating it, but it had to come from somebody else to say, oh, Daba, you're this. I always felt like someone had to validate who I was at that time, make me feel, beautiful or worthy. I needed that, assurance, because my mom never did. She never told us. She just, I remember my mom used to say, why is it only you that they see outside? Is it only you there? Every time you go out, it's you that they will see? And she would say, why are you so conspicuous? That's the first time I've heard that word. And, she used to tell me, and I just felt like, I said, I don't know. I would say, I don't know. Is it, I don't know. I keep saying that. But, I just felt I needed someone to tell me, okay, Daba, you're like this. And I'll say, and I'll agree. I will never be self-assured and say, yes, Daba, this is who you are. No, I just needed someone. And I call it daddy issues, because I didn't have a dad to tell me, talk to me and tell me stuff. So I felt like, guys out there are the ones to tell me how beautiful I am, how intelligent you are, and I'll believe it. I just felt that is the way I should be.
To be validated. Okay, so there was the issue of maybe you needed daddy and to tell you that that you were cool. But I just want to let you know that you are fantastic.
Thank you.
Good.
I know I
am. So Daba, now, because the topic is going to talk about abuse and all the rest of them, but again, I think that there's a link, in everything, in the sequence of things. So I'm just going to ask you one question again, another question. because I want to link everything together. In talking about the low self-esteem, did it impair your judgment of the men that you would have married eventually in future?
Oh, definitely. I mean, like, definitely, I just felt like, I needed, then I would think, oh,
Okay.
I wasn't very picky in the people I hung out with. If you are nice to me, you're my friend, it's okay. I just felt, you just had to be nice, just nice to me, and you be my best friend.
Okay.
I wasn't like, he has to be this, he has to be this, he has to be this. No, you just had to be nice to me. That's it.
That was it. Okay, so
Mm.
you didn't have you didn't have like a proper character assessment of saying,
No,
okay, this guy I'm going to like,
I
he
only
has
knew
to
that he
be
had to be tall, dark, and handsome, and
handsome,
then the
finished.
rest. I was very no,
Oh
I
my
was not.
God.
I never used to look in deep into
Okay.
yes,
Okay,
growing
so
up.
you didn't look deep. All you were after was somebody who
It's nice.
validated you and who was nice to you.
That's it.
Okay.
That's all I
Okay.
needed.
So that was how it presented or manifested itself in
Mm,
making your choice with your spouse. Okay,
that's
so
right.
Daba, in your little write-up, you said that you moved from Port Harcourt to Lagos to seek independence, right?
Mm,
So that word kind of like struck me.
mm.
So who or what were you seeking independence from?
I wanted to leave home. My mom was very strict, and
Okay.
I felt Port Harcourt was, because of the kind of person I am. I felt Port Harcourt was too small and
Small.
a bit, the way of their think was so narrow that I thought that I wasn't going to fit in. Like, Daba, your wahala is too much. You better move to somewhere like Lagos, where they're more liberal and more open-minded to your escapades, so, or to the way you are. So and then I needed to leave home because because, as I said, my mom was quite strict, and I just needed to just go away. So when I got to about 2021, it was time. I just moved away.
Just left. Okay. So Deba, what I hear you say is, and it mirrors and it reflects, of this our strict African parenting. Okay, so it has its advantages because, it keeps you on the straight and narrow. But on the
Mm.
other hand, again, it's kind of like
Stifling.
stifling, and then you just want to get away from home. So
Stifling.
that was a disadvantage of the
Mm.
African parenting. It kind of like stifled you and made you want to go to leave
Yeah.
home. So
Yeah,
was it
and
in
you couldn't really talk to your parents at the time. I didn't have that relationship with my mom where we have a discussion, because if you say anything to my mom at that time, she'll use it against you. So you just keep mute. Yeah, you just keep mute, and you just
Oh my
move.
God.
So I didn't have that kind of relationship with my mother where I'll have discussions, and she'll advise me and everything, because it will always turn to something else. So I was really eager to leave, so I did.
I think that's the bane of a lot of people, a lot of us in the African mother situation. That's why I was laughing. Sometimes you hear people say, if I tell my mother now, she would use it against me. But I thought maybe they mean well. And but anyway, let's just leave that for another time. Okay, so was it in Lagos that then you now met your first husband?
Yeah, it was in Lagos. Met him at a party. Um,
Okay.
yeah,
Now I
so
just have to scroll here. And so it was from that time then that you entered into a relationship with him. Okay.
yeah, yes. It was then I entered into a relationship with him.
Relationship with him. And that is where you had your first instance of an abusive relationship.
Yeah, kind of. No, but yeah, in a relationship, yeah, I
The
did.
relationship. Okay.
Mm.
So I want to read out something. Okay. So before we talk about abuse, right, we go deep into the matter of abuse. I want to give us a quick WHO global statistics on violence against women. Okay. And the report says, I got this from the WHO website, and the report says So I'm sorry, guys, that I'm looking this way because I have my other laptop here. So it says that over a quarter of women aged 15 to 49 years old who have been in a relationship or have been have been subjected to physical and or sexual violence by their intimate partner at least once in their lifetime since age 15. The prevalence estimates of lifetime intimate partner violence range from 20% in the Western Pacific, 22% in high-income countries and Europe, 25% in the WHO region in the Americas, to 33% in the WHO African region, and 31% in WHO Eastern Mediterranean region, 33 in the Southeast Asian region, and it says globally as many as 38% of all murders of women are committed by the by intimate partners. So that's how deep and how frightening abuse is, in generally in relationships. So just to be clear, what kind of abuse did you experience?
Physical abuse. So, um, um, uh, he was violent. So he was violent. So initially when I met him, he was the nicest, very lovely guy. He was very attentive. He was, very, he was a nice guy. And well, then my own idea of nice, I told you that anybody who just shows me small likeness, I don't even, it just didn't, he was just nice. And so when we started dating, we were dating it was very intense.
Okay.
And then there was a part in my life where I didn't really have where to stay. I think I had to move out from where I was and I didn't have where to stay. And then he suggested that I move in with him. And I thought, oh, good idea. And I think he was thinking, oh, we'll get married, but he never said, he wasn't really specific. But anyway, because I had nowhere to stay and I said, oh, he's my boyfriend, I moved in.
Okay.
And then one day, I can't remember one day I did something and he didn't like it and I got my first slap. I was in total shock. I said, I couldn't understand why he hit me. But then I noticed that he was someone who was, he had a temper.
Okay.
He had a temper. So I could see him. So when I started living in the house, before I wasn't, so I didn't see that part of it. But when I started living in the house, I noticed that he had a temper. And that was my first encounter of him.
Okay, Daba, I want to ask this question, okay? Because so he was very nice to you. So that was a way of sucking you in, is that?
I suppose, yeah.
Yeah, I suppose so, yeah. And so he was very, again, he had a very short fuse, he was very hot-tempered. And then, so you had been with him for how long before you eventually now got married?
4 years.
4 years. So Daba, from the time he gave you the first slap to the time you got married, why didn't you like say, oh no, I don't want to do this? Like,
that's where the self-esteem, I just thought at that time, I thought that this is it. If I don't get married to him, who was going to marry me? That was my thinking. Who was going to marry me? And I felt too that he was going to change because, after the first, the second, there are tears, there are cries, and like as a woman, you see this grown man crying and telling you, it will never happen again. And you just like, it's never going to, in your mind, you think, oh, look, he's crying. So he's really, really sorry. It's never going to happen again. And it will happen. But I just felt like, who was going to marry me after? And then at the time, we're even trying for kids, and I wasn't getting pregnant as well. So, I'm thinking, I'm even damaged goods. So who is going to marry me? And
Okay.
at the time, I was only 24. I was 25. So I was that young
Okay.
at that time.
Wow. So Daba, I just want to understand this thing. I need to understand what you're saying to me. Okay.
Yeah.
So he would hit you, and then he would cry.
Yeah, he
and
apologized.
apologize for hitting
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Okay. And then when he did, you believed, and he promised you that I would never do it again. And then you would believe him, and then he would stay. And then he would hit you again. Did you ever think at one point that that was something that okay, fine, you talked about the low, but did you think that there was something that you were doing that deserved that treatment that you got from him?
No, not me. Maybe there was something I was doing, but not me. I always thought that I was a bit like me. I was a bit sharp, sharp mounted. I would talk, quarrel a bit. If he talks one, I might talk like three. That kind of thing. But in my mind, I didn't think he would hit me, because I just said I responded to his
Yeah.
whatever he was saying. So sometimes, because I was always talking back, he would get, upset. I just remember the one with the iron. He flung this iron straight at me, and my friends were walking in. I remember, I just remember him doing that. It's because I was talking back, and he wanted me to shut up. So that's just listen. But I never could shut up. So I'll just say something, then you hit me to stupor, and then that's it, So. Oh.
So Daba, so my gosh. So okay, I'm going to answer this question. So why did you tell people? Did you complain? Did you tell your friends? Did you tell people that, oh my gosh, that this is what I'm going through? Did you? Okay, your friend walked in. Did you tell your mom? Did you tell your aunts? Did you tell anyone that you were going through hell?
No, I didn't.
Why?
Because I wanted to get married now. So I felt like, well, it's okay. He's apologized. It will be fine. Like, I wanted to be married. I felt like that's my last bus stop. So I didn't really tell anyone. Yeah, I didn't really tell anybody as such.
Okay.
I really didn't.
Okay, Daba. So at what point?
Only my neighbors knew. My neighbors, because they were the ones that used to come and separate, that dragged me away. So my neighbors knew, and and a few people. Yeah. So.
Okay. Daba, at that point, were you financially empowered? Did you work? Did you do anything?
No.
Did he
didn't
stop
allow
you?
me to do any. Yeah, he didn't allow me work. I used to work at furniture, but I stopped working. So in short, that I didn't do anything. He just left me doing nothing. I didn't do anything. I was just and I don't even know, I was brainwashed or something. I didn't do anything. Maybe I just like living a lazy life at the time. Maybe I just didn't want to work. But I didn't have my own money. I didn't have anything. So I was just there,
Okay. So at what point did you say, if I don't leave this house, this man is going to kill me?
So we got married.
Okay.
We got married, but it was getting worse. It now got really, I think maybe he felt like he owned me.
Okay.
Because he was controlling as well. So after we got married, it just became worse. It became worse. And the last hit was when I started thinking, so the day we got married,
yeah,
My grandmother actually was convinced that they did me juju. I remember, because on the day of my marriage, I cried, and because they were harassing me too much. And that was when I told my people that they made me go and swear juju that time. So, because it was Benin, I had to go and swear, so
From in the shrine or whatever.
you don't kill your husband, you don't do this, you don't do that, all that kind of rubbish. And so that was when, so my mom was upset, my grandmother was upset, my uncle they were upset. And so that was when I started to realize that I think maybe I've made a mistake. And my friend, my very good friend too, used to tell me, Daba, you've made a mistake. The last time he touched me, I had started taking away my stuff. I was just like, it's not like I think I used to go and wash my clothes at my auntie's house, and somehow it would take me a while to bring my clothes back. And one day he walked to the room and found that, where are your clothes? And I said, in my auntie's house or something. Well, that was the day he actually hit me. That's the last hitting. And that hitting was really, really bad. And that was when I decided that I had had enough.
And
that day.
Away.
No, it did not immediately. It took me a month. So one day, it took me about a month after that. But I was sad. I was very sad. I didn't really tell anyone. I was very sad. So one day, my sister was abroad, so she had a car that I was using. So it gave me, because I could move around now, I had my own car, well, my sister's car really. I decided that one day when he was asleep, I packed my stuff. I didn't take anything, nothing. I used to love the gym, so I only had my gym bag.
Okay.
And early in the morning, around 4 o'clock, he was still sleeping. I just packed my bags, drove into the car, and I went to a friend's house and told my friend I'd left. Now I was waiting for my auntie to wake up because it was very early, then I would go there. And once it was like 9 o'clock, and I never saw him again. That was it.
Okay. Daba, did you have any?
Because I was thinking how my life was going to be, because I started to see my future, and I'm thinking this future is not going to work. He's going to be beating me all the time. And I don't think I wanted that for my life. So I just said, that's how I just decided, that's it. And then I had people around me telling me, you need to, so that gave me family, really important. My family supported me. If it wasn't for my family and my friends, one of my good friends, I wouldn't have left. My family was there to take me back. And that's why I could, have the sense of, they didn't care. I had no money, nothing. I just felt that I had my family to go to, so that's fine. So, yeah.
So that's the importance of family. But now I'm going to look, I just want to take you back for a few minutes. In the 90s and maybe in the 90s, we didn't have any issue of like the way we have a mental health awareness wasn't the way it was in the 90s. Did you think that it impacted on your mental health in a way, like, it didn't at all? Okay, so you didn't have any counseling or anything, you just...
The only thing, well, when I left, my mom felt like I needed cleansing because of all the
so they needed to go and
I needed to go to church and pray out everything that was the only thing,
You had to go and do deliverance.
Deliverance. That's it. I went
from the evil.
Deliverance. That was the only
Thank God for prayerful and
that's
prayerful
the only thing my mother said. You need to do deliverance. You must do deliverance, and so I did that.
For how many days?
Week.
For 1 week. Prayer, fasting, everything.
Everything.
Okay.
Not fasting, but
The prayers.
Prayers, yeah.
Okay. So now, but after that, in 1995, you relocated to the United Kingdom. Okay. So you've had enough, and that was the first marriage gone down the drain. Like, thank God you had family, you had friends that supported you, and that was it. It was gone. You're never going to look back. So you went to the UK. And how then did the UK help you? Did it help you in any way? Living, like relocating, did it help you in any way?
So we come in the late 80s, early 90s, we grew up in this society. For me, I felt like this society was at the time, it's almost like if you don't have a man, you can't survive kind of society.
Okay.
You needed to be with someone to be able to, a man to be able to, for some man to take care of you. And that's, it was very, if you know man, I felt like that's how, it was. So when I moved to the UK, I found things were happening. Was like I was feeling like I could do things for myself, make my own money, and I was feeling good about the whole thing. I thought, this is a nice place to stay. Or I mean, I kind of like this kind of life where I'll be able to just do things, get my own money, buy my own things. Nobody's giving me money. I don't have to depend on one person dashing me money, or that kind of thing. So I just thought this is a nice place to be, and I just decided to not think about Nigeria, and just settle. And
So in a sense, you felt that you felt liberated.
I felt empowered.
You felt empowered and liberated in the United Kingdom. Okay, so now Daba, I have to ask you this. Okay, now they said hindsight is 2020 vision. Okay, so assuming there's a young girl here listening to us, what would you tell her is the subtle red flags of an abuser?
Yeah, when I feel like someone is always like trying to change who you are. You can't wear this. Why are you wearing that? Someone who's controlling. If you start to notice that this kind of moves, it's a no-no. You need to allow the person. Like, I always feel someone needs to appreciate you for who you are. What's and all, and you can. There's some things that you want to, because you want to. You want to change because you want to be accommodating. But I feel like those signs of someone controlling you, or having has that control nature.
Okay.
Stay away.
Stay away. So controlling, right? Telling you wants to change you. And what about like stopping you from engaging with your family? Did he stop you from
stopping you from engaging with your
family and
stopping
friends?
you from your friends. And that was one of the things that used to happen to me. It used to stop me from, moving around with my friends, or, I was always like, I had to be at home at a certain time. So, someone who wants you just for himself and nobody else can come in.
Okay, so okay, Daba, I just want to get this straight. So he was possessive.
He was possessive, very possessive.
For an onlooker, for a young girl who was in love initially, she would think that, oh, he wants me around.
She think that is love. She would think that he loves her, he wants her. You just feel, oh, he loves me. He just wants to be with me all the time. And you feel good about it. But really, on the other, he's being selfish, and he's being controlling, and he's being, it's not right.
So that's the number one red flag for abuse. Okay. Now, another question I'm going to ask is, because I have all these things set up here. And so you were in the UK, you felt empowered, you were feeling very good with yourself, and you were happy. And then you decided to remarry.
Well, yeah. But that, I think I think that's where low esteem comes again. And also, I felt like, that, to be honest, it was a mistake. I shouldn't have. But then it's me in my fairy land, like, you meet someone, he's nice. And I also wanted to help, so I just felt,
in what way?
yeah, I wanted, he needed to be in England, and he felt like I could help him become a citizen, and I was happy doing it. I didn't have any qualms doing it, so I just said, oh, I'm dating him, so I can just marry him now. It's okay. But it was,
okay, okay. So
okay.
I wanted, okay, Daba, sorry. So you wanted to help, you married him because you wanted to help him get his.
Yeah,
not
and I
because,
also liked him as well.
okay, you like him.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I loved him, but I liked him. So I just felt like, okay, we can just get married and see if it works. And then the good thing that came out of it, that I had a daughter from it. And I was very happy that I could have a daughter, because in my last relationship, my last marriage, they were telling me I couldn't have kids. And so when I met my second, I got pregnant. I was very happy, and I just thought, okay, yeah, but it was clearly a mistake, but it happened.
Okay. I don't want to prove so much, but why do you say it was a mistake?
Because I didn't really think about, I only thought about him and what he wanted. I didn't really think about me and what I wanted and what I wanted out of the relationship. I was only thinking about him. But that's the way I think. I think about you and not me. And so all I was thinking, he needed help. I'm there to help him. So, why not? It's somebody I like anyways. It's not like I hated him, or, I didn't like him. It's someone I really liked. So I just said, okay, I'm doing it for him. But I really didn't think about me. Didn't really, really think really deep about what I was getting into. So
and what then, if you were going to think about it, what did you want for you? What would you have wanted for yourself in that relationship?
I just wanted someone who were equal partners. Someone who understood me. Someone who would be like my ride or die kind of guy. That's what I wanted, but it didn't happen.
Okay. So you made up your mind after that you know what, this is not my ride or die guy.
Yeah.
I'm going.
Yes. I just one day I just thought about, I started seeing the future again.
That's very good. You saw it. You saw your life.
I started thinking, Daba, is this another one? Is this how you want to live your life? And by then I had my daughter. She was about 18 months.
Okay.
So I said I wanted, because then I started to think about my daughter, think about me. And I started thinking, like, why be in a relationship where you're not happy? And then it impacts the child as well. So the child will be getting the vibes of parents who are not into each other. And I really didn't want that for her. Okay. So I just looked at it and I thought, you know what? It's not the end of the world if it's two men that you divorce and live a happy life. Okay. Nobody come and beat you. Okay. So
you had the presence of mind that it was for your own interest.
Yes, but then I'm getting older and I'm becoming more aware about me and what I wanted. So I was getting older, I was in my 30s now, so and then I was living in a society where, you can do that and no one's gonna think
And no
about
one's going to,
anyway.
okay. Very good. So guys, if you have any questions, you can kindly type out your questions and then we will take the questions as we go along. You can use the chat box, type your questions out, and then we would answer, Daba would answer as much as she can. So Daba, so another question I want to ask you is this now. So you have had two experiences now. You've had, one was an abuser, and the second one would have said was a mistake because you didn't think about yourself. You wanted a ride or die guy. There was no connection, right? So that was the mistake that you made. So another question I'm going to ask you for any young girl who's listening then is, because now you have a wealth of knowledge from the two experiences you've had side by side. And what are you going to say to a girl who wants to say I do? What are the things you're going to say to her to consider before she says I do?
Well, before, as I said, I said it previously, what I said earlier on is, you need, for me now, thinking about it, is that you want a man who appreciates you for who you are.
Okay.
For who you are, number one.
Okay.
You don't want anyone to change who you are. You must be you.
Good.
You should accept just accept you. And you must look at the future. Think about the future. Is he going to be the kind of person that is going to be with me, what's and all, in years to come? What's his character? Is he strong-minded? What is it? And also, he should be independent.
Okay.
He should be independent. He should be financially, strong. Don't go and get someone that has no money. And that's the truth. Let's be honest here. Don't go and get anyone that has
Daba, are you saying
financially independent.
Are you trying to say
Have a job, a good job, a proper job, job that you can see, not job that you can't see, job that you can see.
Okay.
Let's know what you're doing. Let's know what he's doing. Someone who loves his family, and you can see that loving his family is important as well. So if his family is important to him, your family will be important to him too. So that's, for me, is, and then communication. You have to be able to communicate with the person that you're with. Talk to him about, or her about, anything. Communication is key. If you can't talk about things, then there's no point you keeping everything to yourself. You must have communication, and then that communication is a non-judgmental communication. And so you have that kind of relationship. For me, you're good.
Daba, this is so deep. You know what I mean? This is so deep. It's unbelievable. So you're saying the person has to love his family. If he doesn't love his family, then he can't love you or love your family. He has to be financially capable to look after himself. So which means that if he can't pay his rent, then you shouldn't be marrying you.
No, if he can't pay his rent, why are you marrying him now?
If he can't pay his phone bills, then there's no need.
There's no need. Let me say, it's an avenue for disaster.
It's an avenue for disaster. Communication is important.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Daba, before I continue, I want to take some comments here. Okay, let me take some comments. Tinu Soya said, what does a Jews ambassador mean? We're going to get to that question, to that. Daba, you're going to answer that Jews ambassador later on, okay? But Pastor Tayo Badijoko says, awesome and insightful, great authentic interview by both host and guest. Proud of you, Ivy. Thank you, Pastor.
Thank you.
Okay, and Riri Okoye says, I'm sure you validate your daughter and tell her she's beautiful.
All the
Yeah.
time. All the time, because I understood. Because as I was getting older, I understood what and Annabelle too is going through a single parent home, and I understand what validation means and what it should to do for your child who is also experiencing daddy issues.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Okay, so now about from what you're saying to me, I think that you're saying to me, and for us to say to even to our parents, you know, single parents, even if it's normal father and mother parents, you know, that it is important for parents to validate their kids.
Very
and
important.
that to their kids that you are worth it.
Yeah.
You are important.
Very
okay.
important.
Otherwise, then it's going to affect the self-esteem, right?
That's right.
Good. So I'll take this other question here. So Messi Edu says, after the first breakup in the marriage, do you think that the second or third can succeed due to comparisons with the initial marriages? Yeah.
Of course, it can succeed because now you have something to compare, and also as you're moving into other marriages or other relationships, you're getting wiser, you're getting more insightful. And you start to understand what it is that you want from a relation, what it is you don't want from a relationship, and what you're expecting from a relationship. So, it is now if anybody marries me.
Naba. Oh, Naba. Please don't make me afraid, though.
Anybody that's married me now is marrying like diamond.
Okay.
Diamond is
so good.
So anyone that, because I'm now coming to my own.
Yeah.
And I now understand what it is to be in a meaningful relationship.
Okay.
Yeah. So, that's it.
So Daba, I get something from you. I have an epiphany. Okay. And that epiphany is that for a relationship to be successful, it has to be meaningful.
Yeah.
It has to be a relationship that is meaningful in the sense that the person values you as a person.
Yes. 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 Very important. Yes. Values you as a person.
So I learned something today. My relationship has to be meaningful. So if it's not meaningful, then it's not worth it.
I don't think so.
Good. So Daba, we're going to talk about living intentionally. Okay. And at what point did you come to the realization that you had to start living intentionally?
As I used to say that, I was immature until I got to 40. I was but when I got to 40, I thought, Daba, you've come. I decided that I've always been someone who, I've always been someone who likes life, enjoys life, appreciates life. I'm always the light of the party. I've always been. But when I got older, when I got into my 40s, I thought, you know what, Daba, forget all these things happening around. Just live your life the best way you can. Just intentional. Own your truth. Be sure about what you want out of life. So, and that's when I turned 40. The day I turned 40.
No, but I think that when every woman turns 40, right? But that's what they say. That's what they say. They say when you
turn. That's what they say. But my own is that's what they say. Some people actually are already, like my sister has been mature since she was 18 or something like that. But it just took me a long time to actually, get to it.
Okay, now I want to ask another question for someone who may be asking or wondering. So when you got to 40, you wanted to live your own truth. So what does it mean to begin to start living intentionally? What are the things that you do to live intentionally?
So I'm more aware. I don't, sometimes I really don't. Till now, I think I'm too I'm too truthful to a fault,
Okay.
and sometimes it might hurt the next person, but I don't care what I'm saying.
Okay.
It's not like I don't care. I'm
Yeah.
not emotionally intelligent to understand that what I've said is not what I should be saying, but but it's just, I just decided to just be me.
Okay.
It's not like I've not always been me, but be intentional about just being who you are. I don't know. I'm not what you see here.
What you get?
Is what you see. You will. It's this me. I don't change. This is who I am. I would tell you this is who I am. And I decided to do that more. I just decided that okay, this is who I am. You better take it or leave it. If you don't like it, you can go. If you like it, you stay. If you want to hang around, you stay. And I I want to be here for a long time. So I started thinking about my health. I went into menopause really early.
Okay.
By 35, I'd gone into menopause. And I wanted to live a longer life, a truthful, fitful life. So I started exercising more. I started watching what I was eating. I just wanted to be here. I want to be here for the long haul. I was
Okay.
just taking care of myself and just being me. That's
Okay.
me living
Live
intentionally.
intentionally. Fantastic. So Daba, let me just take some questions or some contributions, and then we're going to go back to this. Okay. Now it's fantastic. But so let me see. So Ijoma says, sorry, Peace Onyebuchi says, we all mature differently. Age is out of it, and the relationship should be intentional as well. And let me see. Thank you, Joma. Peace. And another one says, I think emotional maturity is important. My daughter doesn't need to rush into marriage. And let me see. And Okay. And Ayaba says, you are valued. You are the value. Ayaba says, you are the value and must be valued. Fantastic. And yeah, okay. So I want to ask this question, Daba. So let me see. So now we've talked about it though. Um we talked about living intentionally. Now, so you did your time in England, okay? You stayed in England for like, you did your time. You stayed for 20 years, okay? So when you came back to Nigeria, and then I remember I saw you in Adaise's house when you came back. Yeah. And then you started a business. Yeah.
Yeah.
So was that business born out of living intentionally?
No. No, not really, no.
Okay.
So I came, so I'll just briefly tell you my journey, how I came into Nigeria, so you
Okay,
understand.
do that. Yeah.
Understand. So in 2012, I didn't have a job in the UK, and then I was thinking, okay, I needed to come home.
Okay.
And I spoke to a friend of mine who said, oh, you can come and work in Nigeria. Came for the interview, got the job. The interview was in February, said I must start the job in April. So I came back to the UK, ready to rock and roll Nigeria, sold all my light, everything, my furniture, rented out my house, shipped half of my stuff. 2 weeks before I was going to come, I got a letter to say the job was no longer available. I thought, no longer available. I've sold bed. I've sold TV. I've sold my car. House that I bought, I've rented it out. Where am I supposed to stay? With my mother in her house. How can that happen? So I was like stuck. I didn't have a job. So my sister said, okay, you know what? Since your stuff is already there, just come, we'll find you, something will happen. That's how I carried myself with like the little money I had saved up and came to Nigeria to hustle, to look for a job. I had nothing. My daughter was in secondary school. We were paying international fees, but you know, it didn't matter. So I started looking, and that's when I met Daisy. She's always part of my story.
Oh,
She
thank you, Adeze.
coached me, and she talked to me, and and one day I was just looking through Facebook and I saw some people juicing, and I was really into fitness then. I told Adeze, I can juice now. Adeze said, yes, you can. He said, how much do you have? I think I had like 20,000 naira or so. Adeze said, let's go and buy a juicer. I remember that day we went to Ikori with Adeze, and then that's how I bought my juicer. I think my sister and my brother-in-law, because I was living in their house, they were in total shock. You say you're starting a business like that. Didn't know anything about business in this Nigerian space.
Yeah.
And so you call me like an accidental entrepreneur, and that's how I started a business in my sister's kitchen. And I didn't have any customers, didn't know where to get the bottles. It was a taxi driver that took me to Ilukweju. I was going round and round and finally found a place that they sell bottles. And I got in there and I said I needed bottles. I thought I would just go and buy a few bottles. They said, no, you must buy 5,000 bottles. I said, ow, which money? And I sort of like did my nice and talked to the guy, and he said, oh, I'll talk more to my boss. So he allowed me get 3 bags of bottles.
Okay.
So I bought the bottles and I went to my sister's house. Didn't know anything. I was buying fruits and vegetables from the barrow people on the street to juice. Didn't have any customers. I just remember it was my bank, the relationship manager, who was kind of like my friend, who said, bring the juice to my office. She said, you don't have a company, Abi. I will help you register a company. And I remember doing those few bottles of juice that took me, I didn't even do the oranges well. It was my sister that said, you're not doing the orange well, do it like this. And took me a whole half a day to produce 6 bottles of juice. And I went to my my relationship managers in their bank to sell those bottles of juice. And that's how I started.
Fantastic.
And that's how I started the business. But then I was really into health and fitness. So I did understand, how to juice properly. I did understand how to combine fruits and vegetables. I understood that, and I just took it from there. And here we are.
Daba, I must say that I'm absolutely proud of you. I just want to read out some comments that some of our somebody that we have here. So Nkiru Indi Alichi, I hope I got it right, said, great interview. I love the openness. And then Peace Onyebuchi says, we must not leave our values out when entering into any relationship. Okay, if the man is not in sync with your own values as you do his, then it's unhealthy. Then it's unhealthy to even venture into it. And Amy says, where there is a will, there is a way. Now, Daba, your story is so encouraging and inspirational and inspiring as well. I want to ask you a question. So, and I want to go back to the question that Tinu Sonia asked. So, Daba, who and what is a juice therapist?
A juice therapist is just someone who understands understands juicing and what juicing can do for you.
Okay.
Yeah, so you just understand juicing and what
Okay.
juicing can do health wise.
Okay.
So that's where the therapist comes in,
Okay.
because it's all about your health and wellness. So.
Okay. So a few days ago, I was just stealing through your Instagram, right? I spy on you a lot, in case you
All
don't
right.
know.
Okay.
And I saw some ladies, some testimonials about somebody had bloating and the person ordered for your juice. And I remember when my son had cancer, I was going to contact you to supply us with some greens, but unfortunately it didn't happen. He didn't live. So so tell me, like, I'm in a different space now in my life, okay? And we know that everyone is going green. There is a lot of talk about juicing and greens and everything. So as a juice therapist, how then do you meet the needs of your clients?
So, like most of the clients that I come with, they're already aware.
Okay.
They're already aware of what they want
Okay.
and what juicing does and what
Okay.
it can do. So,
Okay.
I just advise them.
Okay.
So all the combination of juices, I've created them from me. I haven't, I have just understood
They're from you.
what works with what and how it's going to impact your body. So
Okay.
I would just say, you can do, if you want a detox, this is what you need. If you want to just have a juice a day, you can have this. And that's how I've been able to promote my juices. My juices are not, I promote it for health,
Okay.
and not you just want to drink it. You just want to drink it, yes, to be healthy, but it's more to do with your well-being and how fruits and vegetables will impact your life in a positive way. Because I now found out that lots of us don't have enough fruits and vegetables in our diet, no matter how you want to be eating soup and gari and egusi and that, or
But
salads. You don't have
Chaba,
enough.
can I say something? Sorry, but vegetable, that vegetable pounded yam and is vegetable, and egusi is
Yes,
vegetable.
but you can't. Yes, it is, isn't it? Yeah, I'm not saying that, but it's not enough.
Okay.
I don't think it's not enough, and I think for me, I believe that juicing is the best way for you to be having your fruits and vegetables every day.
Okay.
So.
Okay. So Daba, assuming I come to you, okay, and I say, you know what, Daba, I have bloating. I want to I need my skin to glow and all those kind of things, and I come to you. So as a juice therapist, you're going to give me the combinations of juice I have to take to help me. Is that what you're going to do?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell you, but I have to tell you, you have to be consistent with it. It's not you just come and think you're taking paracetamol, the headache will go. The headache will come back.
Okay.
So getting them to understand that you have to, you have to be consistent in juicing for you to be able to experience the benefits and feel the benefits. Consistently taking juices on a daily basis. That's when you actually see get your results and get your beauty.
Okay. Daba, I'm going to ask you a personal question, okay? So a few days ago, I was in hospital and I had to do a medical procedure, okay? So I came back and I was having a conversation with my friend yesterday, and we talked about, she said, whatever you're going through is pre-menopausal. And I'm like, really? And over Christmas, I got a scale, Daba. Even if I drink water now, I do it. you know, and just even when I don't eat, we fasted for 30 days, you know, at the beginning of the year. The weight doesn't want to go. So my friend was like, no matter what you do, even like swallow air, it has come to stay, it has come to stay. So as a juice therapist, Daba,
No, let
tell
me,
me what I can
no,
take.
no, yes. So we go into menopause, or we're going through menopause, and yes, we do, but it's hormonal imbalance, right? And
Okay.
so things in our bodies that are supposed to function are not functioning the way they should. But we can
Okay.
actually reverse it with the kinds of foods that we eat.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's just you changing the way you actually eat, and choosing the right foods to be able to accommodate your what your belly fat and all the things
Oh,
that
Daba,
that
because
things can
the
come out.
belly fat now and the fat is the remedy that I need. You know, so
Yeah.
there's a lot of women who are going to be listening who would have the same issue as the belly fat and, you know, all those kind of things. So you have the remedy, do you? Like the combinations that they can take to
Yeah,
help?
you just, yes, but also it's also for you to be able to yeah, so for the juices, yes, but I can't stress it enough. I can't stress it. You have to be consistent. You can't come and drink juice one day and expect the belly to just disappear. It
Hey,
ain't gonna happen.
Jesus, Jesus. Okay,
It ain't gonna happen.
Daba,
So
it's a very big problem.
yeah, consistency is for, you know,
A lot
that's
of
it's the
us.
biggest problem. Mm.
Okay. So if there's a woman here and she's interested in becoming your client, how would she get across to you?
She can just contact me on Instagram at Zesty Juices, or um, contact me on Facebook, D Biana, and
Okay, let me write it down. Just you can contact Daba, right? Let me just type it down. So you can contact Daba on Zesty Juices, right?
mhm.
Is that the spelling?
Zesty Juices,
Is that it?
ZESTY at
Yeah, Instagram, right?
yeah.
Okay, so Instagram, so they can find you there. Okay, so do you deliver nationwide or just in Lagos?
At the moment, just in Lagos. So anybody,
Okay.
yeah. So at the moment, just in Lagos, but we do deliver outside of Lagos, just special delivery.
Okay. Okay. Now let me take some. I saw some questions, some contributions here, and I want to take it. Okay, Daba. And is staying divorced not lonely sometimes? Someone asks.
Yes, does that mean you won't have boyfriend? Yeah, it's not now. You have you know, it doesn't mean like you get divorced, but you have, you know, friends with benefits, you know, that keep you, you know, energized. So, you know, it can be. But I was talking to my friend today, and she said she needs to be intentional now about being in a relationship.
Okay.
As we get older, I believe that, you know, we should be in a relationship. We shouldn't just think that, okay, so we're getting older, we're not worthy of being in a we're not worthy of being in a relationship. You should be in a relationship. I watch my mother now. She's 80, but I think she's lonely. And if she had someone, I don't think she would be in my business or our business. She would have been concentrating on her husband or her partner somewhere. So as we get older, I think you should really consider being in a relationship. I'm not spiritual, because in Nigeria, everything is about God and that. But the reality is, you know, being in a relationship is very healthy. You can speak to God, but you also need someone you can speak to. by your side.
But you can have your girl pals now, you know.
Girl pals can't warm you up at night now. What are you talking about?
Now, but the Holy Spirit can be your blanket.
Whatever. Well, that's good. Let's be real. Let's be real.
Okay, you feel that it's important to have a relationship. Okay, Daba, I want to say this. Somebody says this. Felicia Oguru says this. Daba, your story is very inspiring. I love your openness and simplicity, and good job, Ivy. You are changing lives. God bless you. Thank you, Felicia. So Daba, again, now you've just answered the question I wanted to ask. I wanted to ask you, so do you still believe that a man is important in a woman's life? And you think a man is important, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, a man is important. You need each other.
So it's a symbiotic relationship. Okay. Yeah. Now, Daba, I want to ask you this question. So if you were to talk to your younger self today, what will you tell her?
My younger self?
Yeah.
I would say more self-discipline. Okay. Focused. I was more focused. More, you know, deep, you know, think about others, people around you when you're doing things, you know, because I never did. Be more mindful. That's what it is. Mindful about your environment, about people, about the things you do. Don't jump, you know, just don't jump in, you know, and just do things without even thinking about what the risks are, and what, you know, what you're going to get back, you know, thinking back. And really,
yeah. Okay. And you can say to her as well that she's beautiful and she
deserves and validate yourself, validate the people around you. Okay. And be more open. Why with my daughter now, I'm not judgmental. I listen. Okay. We have a discussion. We communicate. Okay. As we communicate, I'm not judging. I'm just listening. I'm listening to what she has to say. Respect what she has to say, and I'll put my input. And she listens. And I think for us as parents, that's what we should do. I don't blame my mother in how she brought us up. That's what she's all she knew. That's how she was brought up. So yeah, she brought us up that way. So, you know, that's it.
So Daba, I mean, I just want to say that I would say this. I have this quote that I wrote down, so maybe I should just read it, okay? And this is from my blog, okay? I have a blog called onewomanity.com. It used to be goshopforbaby.com, but I needed to expand it to do more. So it's now called onewomanity.com. And the reason why I decided to have the blog is what I'm going to say now. I said, finally, I believe that our life journeys are rich enough content to share with other people. They are not just ours to tell, but will serve as a survival kit for those who are about to embark on theirs. And the reason why you have decided to share your story is to make the journey for others lighter. Your experience will serve as street lights to help illuminate the paths of others as they travel life's journey. And finally, Daba, what is your final word to any woman or any person who is listening to you today?
Don't get, well, you know, I started thinking recently, you know, don't stress about things you don't have any control over.
Okay.
Live your life intentionally.
Okay.
Be truthful. And just be you.
Just be you.
Just be you.
Be your original self.
Just be you.
Okay. So Daba, it's been fantastic. It's been absolutely fantastic.
Thank
And
you.
thank you for being very open and genuine. So before we go, please, I want everyone to please do me a favor. If you enjoyed this video, kindly share it. Okay, you can find it on Facebook on my page, Ibinabo Enebi. And you can, I think you're going to find it on YouTube in a few minutes, later in the day, later today or first thing in the morning tomorrow. If you liked it, please go to my YouTube page. My YouTube account, it's Ibinabo Enebi. You can please like and subscribe so that you're going to get, whenever I send videos, you're going to get new videos. And then my website is onewomanity.com. It is for every woman and, for everybody. I talk about so many things. I talk about, issues arising from, new moms to everything. So, and it's just a new blog and I'm, adding content to it. So I would like to thank everybody who came, quite a lot of you. There's AA, there's Adeze, there is Amy, my goodness, there is Ayaba, there's Boma, there is Buki. Buki, thanks for coming. There is Enchiagoze from America, Buki in Ireland, Chidiogo, there is Chinwe, there is Daminabo Hospital, there's Dr. Amani, hi, and Jasper, is it Jasper? Sorry, there is a Felicia from Ireland, there is a Igonibi, Igoni Wax, there's Joseph, hi, there's Messi, there's Newton Levi, there's Inkechi, there's Inkiru, there's Oju, you made it, there's Peace, there's Soti, there's Tamno Priye, there's Pastor Tayo, thank you. Oh, Theodora is a regular, Ijama is a regular, there's Tony, Ziggy, thank you. There's quite a lot of you. And I want to say thank you very much. And in case you missed this interview, you can watch it on Facebook, on my Facebook page, Enebi, and I would upload it on YouTube shortly. And I just want to read the Daba in the spirit of self-validation.
Thank you.
I want to read out all the comments that our supporters have for us, okay? We have to blow our own trumpets, okay? So, Ziggy says, Ziggy, thank you. She says, thank you, Daba and IB. Dr. Amoni says, well done, Daba. And Adeze Adolfi says, well done, ladies. Riri Okoye says, well done, Daba. Proud of you. Theodora Azinge says, thank you so much, IB and Daba. And there's a lot. Adeze, thank you very much for supporting Daba. Daba says that whenever she tells her story, that you would always be there. I remember I saw Daba in your house. I came to your house that day. I think, Adeze's house used to be our rallying point. Everybody in Lagos, when you're tired, you go to Adeze's house. So Adeze says, Daba, you indeed grown from strength to strength. Keep growing, keep inspiring us. Daminabo says, great interview, well done, Daba. Amy says, well done, Dabus. That's my name for her. And he says, difficult thing to talk about. Thank you. Adeze says, proud of you, girl. Chidiogo says, I joined so late. I'll watch later. Adeze and Theodora says, Adeze, thank you. So this is women supporting women, holding each other's hands and making sure that this world is all of us. So don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's called Ibinabo Enebi. If you like this video, it's on Facebook. I want you to kindly share it and like it, and just check out my blog, onewomanity.com. So Igoni Wax. So guys,
my every president.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you for listening.
And thank you for listening. And thank you for making
Nkechi, Ngozi, my ladies from my WhatsApp group. Thank you so much for listening. I love you guys. Adeze, Ziggy, Amonia, all of you. Thank you. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so bye everyone.
Bye. Eunice,
Doubles, well done. No, I'm proud of you. I be well done too.
Thank you.
thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, so bye.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Oh, okay. Let everyone go, then I go.
I've gone.
I know remaining 10 people. Let everyone go, then I sign off. I'll be the last to sign off.
All right.
How about you? Were fantastic.
I'm still here. I'm still here.
Who? Igoni? Igoni, are you here?
It's me.
Igoni?
Chinwe.
Chinwe. Love you, girl.
Love you. Bye.
Yeah,
Bye.
thank you so much, everyone. Daba, you were fantastic. You were amazing. Thank you for sharing your story.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Nkechi, thanks for listening.
Yeah, so we have 6 more people still here. So let me end the
But you know, Uncle.
let Ayabi. Yeah. So I have to end the meeting for everyone.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.